So since you all have showed up for this idea of moving into the mastery of your life, as certainly Jesus lived, invited us all to live, these and greater things shall you do, I invite you to think of something this week that you need to ask someone, something that's on your heart. It can be practicing something simple like, will you pass me the salt? It can be practicing something easy. But I really invite you to talk to somebody in your life, asking for whatever you need. I need you to call me every evening if you're in some kind of a friendship, or I need to talk to you often, or this is something that I didn't understand what you were thinking about this. Can you be more clear for me? And just let yourself start exercising the muscle of asking. Because people will never know what you need unless you learn to ask. All right? And you may be breaking through a lot of stories that you grew up with that you weren't valuable enough to ask or whatever, but just be with it and work with it, and trust me, it works. And it's interesting that asking comes before receiving, because you can't receive unless you feel worthy of receiving. We know people that have won the lottery, win all this money, in a very short time they're back to being in debt again, because they didn't feel valuable enough to receive. And so they receive it, and they spend it, and it's all gone. And so we have to feel that value of receiving. Have you ever tried to love somebody that doesn't want you to love them? Bonnie Raitt had that experience. She wrote the song, I can't make you love me if you don't. I can't make your heart feel something it won't. So that is a really crummy feeling, isn't it? Trying to love somebody that won't let you love them. So we understand, and we know that that's their own place of not feeling good about themselves, but that idea of receiving is so important. Are you able to receive compliments? Can we just say thank you? The idea of somebody, most people can receive one compliment, but then if somebody gives you another compliment, you're like, oh, okay, well, good. If somebody gives you a third compliment, it's like, what do you want? What do you want? This idea of really learning that it's just so okay to celebrate you. I know I was in a 30-day program many years ago for recovery from codependency, and they made us sit in the circle of this group, and people, like a lot of people, kept saying nice things to you. It was horrible. But I had to just sit there and receive. And these are people that I'd been with for a month together. And that was sort of our graduation, is just sitting there and receiving love, just letting it happen. And I realized how little loved I'd felt, how little love I recognized that I was, and to be able to receive and let that be important. Let that be the way I live. I was asked this week to try something. So we're going to have a lot of exercises you're going to get to try, that we get to ask, and then we get to look at the ways, even from the beginning of the year to this date, how much you've received. You will need a stack of paper this big, but you can start writing all the ways you've received this year. The love, the finances, the whatever it is, the attention, people caring. It really, the person that was giving me this exercise said, do you get that the plants are giving off the exact element we need to breathe? I was just looking at plants this week going, thanks. Thank you, plant. I appreciate you. But the way that we get to be in this sense of gratitude and thank you, and looking at all the ways people care about us, looking at all the ways our life is so blessed. So blessed. And that place of feeling full. One of my wedding ceremonies, there's a line in it, the blessing for a marriage, it said, that we're together not so much to fill my emptiness, but to remind me of my fullness. That we are so full. We have this heart that's beating. We have this, blood that's moving around. We've got these lungs that are breathing. It's just, we have so much to recognize how much we've received. It's a big deal. And finally, the last part is the covenant. It's agreeing that I'm holding the high watch for me, I'm holding the high watch for you. A mastermind group is a group of people that get together and everyone goes through these steps. They go through the steps. They're all in your bulletin. And of course, asking is the knowing that I'm in conscious contact with infinite intelligence and my mastermind partners. I now ask and accept help and guidance in the area of blank. That's the asking. The receiving, I loving and gratefully accept that the divine source supplies me with an abundance of all things necessary to fulfill my desire. I know that the unlimited power of divine mind has responded to my every need. I assume the same feeling I would have if my requests were already fulfilled. And that's why this receiving, we want to just remember how good it is how much receiving we're experiencing. And then the covenant, I affirm this covenant with divine source, and I go forth into my life with a spirit of enthusiasm and excitement and expectancy. I am at peace. That sounds similar to Steve and my favorite affirmation that Charles Fillmore gives us. I break forth with a mighty faith and zeal and enthusiasm to do that which is mine to do today. That we all get ready for this life to be really great. All right, so this is a good affirmation. I am willing for my life to be really great. Let's say that together. I am willing for my life to be really great, yes. And so the power of covenant is the power of community. It's the power of seeing for one another. Do you recognize that people can see for you a lot easier than you can see for you? You know, that's why people actually can compliment you and you get to go, oh, thank you, because you're learning who you are. So let me tell you a number of ways, because unity is called practical Christianity. It's practicing these things. We don't say, okay, this is it, you got to figure it out, good luck. We're all about how do you really work this stuff and let your life be the magnificent experience that you were born to have. Janet and I, after the service, are going to hold a class from 1 to 2:30 where we're going to get people in groups to practice this. We will have a prosperity class that's starting on the Monday after Labor Day, which is September the 12th. That's a 10-week journey where we talk about mastermind. It's a mastermind process, obviously. And then in October, I'm going to start my own prosperity class after teaching 30 of them. I'm going to manifest one that's going to be about authentic, transparent, naked living. As you know, on the back of the bulletin, I have my radio show called Let's Get Naked, Revealing Your Authentic Self. And it's going to be about authentic living. So it's going to be a 7-week class going through the mastermind principles, and that'll start in October. So lots of ways to be you and to be this beautiful, authentic, transparent, mastermind you that you were and that you are. You know, we were born naked and alone, and we're going to die naked and alone because you have nothing between you and your Creator. That's the whole point, that the mastermind is your way of being able to express yourself and live fully. So I'm going to get you guys to work with me in this scripture as we close, all right? So we're going to say, ask and it is given. So ask and it is given. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and the door will be open. Yeah, so you live that way, you will master your life, and you will absolutely, automatically master your mind. And so we will go into meditation. But I'd like to get you all to do something different and give yourselves a hand for being here today.